Good evening, everybody. It's great to see you here this year. As I say every year, the alumni banquet, which is now the School of Engineering banquet, because we also take this as an opportunity to express our appreciation and our thanks to our industry partners and professionals around the community, as well as the professors and staff of the School of Engineering. I think everybody here knows me. My name is Alaa Ashmawy. I am the Dean of the School of Engineering. This is the 11th edition of the annual banquet. This year we have a lot of items on our agenda, so we're going to try and move fast, but first and foremost, I'd like to thank everybody for coming today. We appreciate everything that you're doing in whatever capacity you're doing to the School of Engineering. And I will start with just a few opening remarks. It's probably going to be a little bit more than a few opening remarks because I'm going to give a short update on where we stand in the School of Engineering. For 2 years in a row, if you don't know, now you know, the EUD is one of the universities, one of only 2 universities in the whole Middle East that ranked on Times Higher Education as one of the 150 universities around the world that graduates employment-ready graduates. So we're very, very proud of this, and we would like to continue to brag about it. We would also like to take this as an opportunity to make sure that we stay in touch with the industry, that we know what's going on out there, and that we're in constant dialogue to make sure that our students continue to be employment ready. In terms of academic updates, we started already a plan that will either take somewhere between 6 months and a year and a half to introduce new concentrations within our existing programs. These concentrations are not intended to replace our existing civil engineering, electrical engineering, electrical and computer, and mechanical engineering disciplines, but rather to try and find synergies, try to find areas of common interest, such as mechatronics, for example, that will combine knowledge from mechanical engineering and electrical engineering. And so the student graduates with a Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering with a concentration, let's say, in mechatronics. Building service systems is another one that came about during one of the advisory boards, and the importance of that field was highlighted. We're going ahead with this. In the area of electrical and computer engineering, alternative energy and sustainable energy is definitely an area worth looking at. Artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, etc. And again, the students are going to graduate with a Bachelor of Science in one of the traditional engineering disciplines. However, they will be able to concentrate in one of these areas, taking courses not necessarily within the discipline itself, but outside the discipline as well. So if somebody is interested in sustainable environment or sustainable built environment in civil engineering, they might take courses from electrical engineering on solar power energy. They might take courses from architecture on air quality and indoors air quality and so on. In addition to this, we are starting a Master of Science in Artificial Intelligence. The launch date of that is, again, we're looking at a 6-month to 12-month window. This will be for professionals who are interested in the area of artificial intelligence, mostly programmers, computer scientists, but also people who might be interested in the field in terms of its application, provided they have the skills that are needed to balance the technical aspect of the program with the non-technical aspect of the program. I know there are a lot of universities that are looking into this, but our program, we believe, is going to be one of the best in the area here. We continue to link with the community. I'm talking about the professional community specifically. We started an initiative this year called Knowledge Without Border with SELEM, the MCC. And that initiative is a series of open lectures to professionals in the evening, through which they gain continuing or PDHs or CDUs or whatever you want to call them, continuing professional development hours, on a number of areas related to engineering. If you are on our mailing list, then you probably receive these flyers. We've had a lot of you who are sitting here today who contributed to this, and for that we thank you very much. We will continue this over the next year. The Atkins Seminar Series, which was started 2 years ago, is still going very strong, and we're very happy with this. These are industry-focused seminars to which our students will also come, and they are held midday once a month. They were initiated by Atkins, but we've seen a lot of other professionals from other companies as well come and contribute to this initiative under the Department of Civil Engineering, and we're really excited to carry this on over the next year. The Department of Mechanical Engineering and the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering have also started their own seminar series. This year, the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering through IEEE, they had a series of seminars for the professionals and the students, and the Department of Mechanical Engineering as well, in which international experts, professors from East Asia, from Europe, from Australia, who are invited to deliver lectures on cutting-edge topics in research, and hopefully that will continue over the next year. Moving along in terms of the involvement with the high school communities, we organize an engineering fair, and I want to emphasize that we organize it not as a recruitment event, but rather as a forum or an event where we promote engineering as a field of study, where we engage the high school students in competitions, be it robotics, mechatronics, bridge building, programming, and they come for a full day on campus. And I'd like to thank the staff, especially May, who's sitting here, on taking on the lead in organizing this every year. This year we had 200 students from all around the UAE who came and competed, and the goal is to make them aware of what engineering is about, and make sure that they are ready to pursue careers in engineering should they wish to do so. Our student clubs, IEEE is still active, ACM is still active, ASME is still active, ASCE is probably the most active, I have to say. I was looking at the numbers, and the number of seminars that were organized by ASCE this year were amazing, but don't hold your breath. It goes up and down. So a few years ago it was IEEE. Before that it was ASME. So the competition keeps going. If you graduated from AUD ever, you know what the bridge competition is. We had the 11th edition this year, the annual wooden bridge competition. We had universities not only from the UAE, but from the Gulf region as well. We had universities from Oman. Last year we had a university from Lebanon who came and competed for this. And Dr. Ilyas Sakan, who couldn't be with us today because he's traveling, is thinking of revamping this competition and starting something new. If you see him, tell him to keep going. This is a good tradition, and it's good to continue that tradition, okay? Memories from this year, the team of students, some of them are sitting here now, won the innovation grant from Expo Life 2020. They're going to use a blockchain system to manage power distribution within communities to authenticate and manage the power transactions resulting from solar energy or generated by solar energy, so that people can buy and sell amongst themselves the power. And they won a grant with Dr. Vinod Pangracious. I don't know if Vinod is here today, but he was guiding them throughout the process. They They also won another competition, which I'm going to talk about very briefly. The Women in Engineering chapter won second place at the International Women Day with the GE Women in STEM competition. We have one of our alumni who's a leader with GE here, who probably didn't know that our students won. I don't know if you knew or not. Our civil engineering students won first and second place amongst, and it was not 3 teams, it was like 40 teams. They won first and second place at the synthetic fiber reinforced concrete testing competition organized by the SEED student chapter at the American University of Sharjah. And their concrete mix, certainly with the help of our regional expert, Dr. Muhammad Naji, who's here, I don't see him. He's here, okay. Yes, he's hiding in the back. Won first and second place in this competition. 2 of our students and 1 of our alumni, who's here today as well, won the 2018 Driving Innovation Award at the, the International Roadway Congress, something that was organized in Dubai here. It's a major international conference. It was hosted by RTA, or organized by in collaboration with RTA. And our students, under the supervision of Dr. Song Soo Son and our alumnus Muhammad Al-Uzun, won first place in the innovation category and the People's Choice category in that competition. Dubai Health Hack, we had another group of students who participated and won that back in January. And then last but not least, you all know, most of you know the story with the solar decathlon. I'm sure half of the people who are here heard about it either through involvement or through social media. This was a major, what I call achievement for our students, where they participated in the solar decathlon Middle East competition organized by DIWA and the US Department of Energy, where they actually designed, built, and operated a house. And it was all done within a 2-week period. It was constructed within a 2-week period. And I really cannot thank enough all our sponsors, partners. It's beyond sponsorship and partnership. Many people here are part of the family now who really helped make this happen. And I'm going to talk more about this. But what I would like to do is, I think I have a couple of short videos. Let's see if I can get them to. This will take care of it.
To be in Dubai, architecture and engineering students who are passionate about the power of energy from clean and renewable sources. The Geo House represents the eclectic and diverse nature of Dubai, where traditional meets modern. The main architectural concept revolves around circular design spaces intended to reduce surface area and minimize heat exchange with the surrounding environment during hot summer days. The solid walls on the south side provide a shield against direct sun exposure. The courtyard, the traditional majlis, and the dekka are facing the north side and are joined by the private living space and the bedroom. Energy management is optimized thanks to the state-of-the-art REACT system, which includes DC to AC inverters and batteries for energy storage. The REACT system is capable of capping the AC power delivered to the house, storing the extra energy in the batteries during daytime, and feeding the excess power to the grid in a seamless fashion. 36 PV panels tilted at 5 degrees harness the sun's energy during the day and are supplemented with 9 vertical panels on the east and west side of the house. Innovation in the structural design include the use of green concrete in a precast column and beam system, erected on a cast-in-place foundation. The use of pre-stressed hollow core slabs, which are lightweight structural elements, enable rapid construction of the roof. It also serves as a heat barrier and a robust support for the building integrated photovoltaic panels which are placed on the roof. A bioreactor system supplemented with UV disinfection and chlorination units allow the recycling and reuse of the gray water generated during daily operation of the house. The recycled water is used for routine household purposes and can be diverted for landscape irrigation if needed. The GL House represents the culmination of 3 years of work by students of the American University in Dubai, supervised by the faculty and supported by a group of socially responsible industry sponsors. It is through partnerships such as these, and through innovation and creativity of the young generation, that the sustainable goals of the 21st century can be met.
So that's the official video. But I edited it, not edited, I just took a short clip from another video that the students created that I'm sure those of you who are involved in this competition is gonna bring back memories, okay? Not this one. It's very hard to adjust the volume here. I see 4 or 5 of you still around here. I guess the others got so tired after the competition, Omar Nuwara and Ahmed Rahmi and these guys that they either went to work offshore or out of the country, right? In collaboration with SELEM, again, we organized a international sustainable governmental housing conference at AUD this year, and I want to talk about this and a couple other conferences. Just mention them briefly later, that we're going to continue to, along these initiatives. We have 3 or 4 major conferences that are going to be happening over the next year, and we'd like to get people from the industrial sector involved as well, because these are as much important it's as much important for us to get your involvement as it is for everybody to also participate in these. And this is just a few short highlights from the ISGH conference earlier in February this year. I want to just mention that in this conference, there were participants from all over the region. There were participants from outside the region as well. But the main participation was from government organizations. And we're one of our strategic priorities this coming year is to get more involvement with government organizations. The Sheikh Zayed housing establishment was engaged with this particular conference. We're getting in touch with other public and corporate entities, including the Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid housing establishment for the next edition of this conference. And if your companies are interested, the theme of this coming conference is going to be 3D concrete printing and digital construction, including BIM, including some other aspects, not necessarily just for the hot topic of 3D concrete printing, but also for things that will carry value in the long term. So we'd very much welcome your participation in the second edition of this conference over the next year. And if you have not listened to the presentation of Dr. Muhammad Nasruddin at this conference, I encourage you to listen to one of his presentations. He was an impressive speaker about solar power and the potential of solar power and alternative energy in these kinds of conferences. Last video that I'm going to show is a few highlights from the EduCon. That's the Global Engineering Education Conference. This is a truly global conference that's organized by IEEE, the Education Society of IEEE. And this conference, this year, it was hosted in Dubai. Every year it's hosted in a different city. This year it was hosted in Dubai. Last year it was in the Canary Islands, and I had the pleasure to go there. Beautiful place if you haven't been there. Next year it's going to be in Porto, in Portugal. We've had over 300 delegates talking about engineering education and new technologies, new approaches, new pedagogies in the field of engineering technology, in the field of engineering education, excuse me. And it was also through the involvement of some of the partners like ABB, like EdNex, like Blackboard, some of the providers of technology in education, that conference was successful. Few highlights.
I am honored and privileged to lead two global organizations of the International Federation of Engineering Education Societies and the Global Engineering Deans Council that works in all 6 continents.
This is a real pleasure to be here in EduCon 2019 in Dubai. The conference goes about engineering education. We are doing a lot of work here. We have more than 200 papers, and all the conferences, technical papers, and activities are really incredible.
This is Dr. Manuel Castro. He's the international chair. He's a professor at the National University of Distance Learning in Spain, and he's the international chair of EduCon.
American University of Dubai did a really incredible job together with the sponsors and all the people that work at the Dubai Center and Dubai Services, and all the activities, conference people, registrars are doing a lot of technical activities and do some cultural activities that we like in this incredible city.
This is my first time in Dubai and my first time in EduCon. I have been in other meetings, but this has been really good. We have learned lots of things about the different techniques. We are here for presenting our new educational model, Tech 21, that is better.
So this is Professor Jorge Membrillo. He's the vice president at Tecnológico de Monterrey, the Technological of Monterrey University. They came with 20 professors from that university to attend this conference. It was really impressive.
Based on challenge-based learning.
Coming to this conference is very important for sharing information with other people around the world who will share similar issues with us so we can learn from them. They can learn from us, and so EduCon has been very exciting for that. Also, everybody here is very open on how we have to change education, because using more technology in the classroom and making learning more open and free and not stick to the traditional formal lectures.
That was Professor Kay Berkling. She is with one of the universities in Germany. I think it's the German Cooperative University. And interestingly, her field is not engineering, but she deals with communication in engineering, which is really one of the important aspects of soft skills, rather than that contribute to our field.
Our ultimate goal is to ensure that in the UAE, the engineering education community is aware of all these new trends that are taking place around the world and collaborate with other universities and other institutions, other professionals from around the world to bring in the latest technologies and the latest methodologies in engineering education, while making sure that the rigor and the strength of our programs remains in place.
So this conference was held in April, and if some of you, especially the alumni, are interested in the field of engineering education and how it links to professional education as well, we can talk about it. A few things that are going to be happening, just a few highlights over what we're targeting over next year. We're establishing the Center for 3D Concrete Printing and Digital Construction. I cannot claim credit for this. The provost of our university, who couldn't be with us today, Dr. Ahmad Hubballah, has led the initiative together with a consortium of companies, and we welcome additional involvement from other companies as well. We've been in touch with the American Concrete Institute. They just established their local chapter here for developing codes and building codes for concrete mixes that are going to be used in 3D printing, as well as guidelines as to where that technology can be beneficial not just to use it as a buzzword and to say this is the solution for everything. And we welcome your feedback on this and your involvement on this as well. We're starting, the Department of Mechanical Engineering is starting to build a new, what we call a creative space, the Fab Lab in the engineering building. Alumni, you remember room E307, which used to be a big computer lab that's never used. We turned it into a senior design room, and now we're turning it into a Fab Lab. And if you get a chance, you can visit and see one of the projects. Some of you guys are sitting here this year who worked on this project to build a 3D printer. Our students, as part of the senior design project under the supervision of Dr. Salim Haggad, they built a 3D printer from scratch, a small printer for small miniature models. And some of you have seen it. I'm not going to mention how fantastic it is and how inexpensive it is, and it's these kinds of projects that we always look for engagement from your companies to work with us on. We're working with the ASGC on some initiatives that will hopefully lead to something in terms of sustainability in construction, especially in construction sites. And we'll keep you posted about this over the next year. Our faculty are working on the incorporation of solar energy in terms of power management, in terms of energy generation, in terms of distribution. Dr. Muhammad Nasruddin is an expert in solar power, and please, if you haven't had a chance to talk to him and you're interested in this topic, he's here today. We're up for our 6-year ABET reaccreditation cycle. Some of you might have been here. Fikri, I remember because Fadi was here, and if Fadi was here, Fikri was here during the last accreditation cycle. This is where ABET comes every 6 years to reaccredit our programs. For those of you who don't know, ABET is the international organization that's basically a gold standard for accrediting engineering programs at the undergraduate level. And we've been fortunate to have been ABET accredited since 2005 at the American University in Dubai. The second university, the third university outside the United States. Something else that I want to mention, and it's just food for thought, we're looking at establishing alumni and corporate scholarships because we found out that the best and the brightest students that we get are students who make use of scholarships, and having a combination of students who are academically what I would say outstanding, and another group of students that is willing to learn, having that combination is what makes our programs strong. We don't want 100% of our students to be on scholarships. What we want to be able to help 100% of our students who wanna excel, whether they excel technically or excel professionally. We want to make sure that they excel. Not everybody's going to excel in all fields. If your company or if you as an alumnus are interested in sponsoring a specific profile of student that you think you would like to support, let's talk about it. As I said, I'm just starting the discussion this year, and we'll keep it going. And with this, I will conclude my remarks. Yes, one last thing. We'd like to revive the Alumni Association or Alumni Society, the Engineering Alumni Society, and we'll be talking to you later through May. We don't want to meet only once a year. I know we meet ad hoc throughout the years or throughout the academic year, but we want to meet more often. We want to have events and get you involved more often. With this, I thank you, and we move on to the program. Apologies for taking too long, but we have a few alumni that are going to update us on their experiences. We start with our civil engineering alumna, Dr., and I'm pleased to say that she's Dr. Maya Abdul Latif. Mai completed her bachelor's in civil engineering in 2013. She went on to Swansea University, the birthplace of the finite element method. Those of you who don't know this, it is where the finite element method was, quote unquote, born in terms of its application in engineering mechanics by Professor Zinkovich, for those of you who recognize the name. Mai completed her master's and her PhD at Swansea University, and she'll be sharing with us some of her thoughts. Mai?